Hello students, this is online practical session. In this session, you will learn about estimation of one biochemical analyte in serum. So first we will discuss a case. In that case, you have to identify which biochemical analyte you have to measure, and then we will discuss estimation part. This is the case. A 6-year-old girl was brought to the hospital with complaints of slow growth and pain in bones. On examination, frontal bossing, bowing of legs, and costochondral junction swelling were observed. Her history also revealed that she has not been outside home from last 7 months due to lockdown. Laboratory results were serum vitamin D 11 nanogram per ml, serum phosphorus 2.8 mg per dl, and serum alkaline phosphatase was 735 unit per liter. Renal and liver function tests were normal in this patient. So first question is, what is the probable diagnosis? The diagnosis in this case is rickets due to vitamin D deficiency. As we can see that in this patient, vitamin D and serum phosphorus levels are below normal range. Patient's history also indicates that vitamin D deficiency is due to lack of sunlight exposure. Patient is having frontal bossing, bowing of legs, which are typical symptoms of rickets. High alkaline phosphatase level also indicates towards rickets. Now the next question is, which other biochemical analyte should be estimated in this case? So the answer is serum, estimation of serum calcium. So now we will move towards estimation part. Now we will discuss a methodology for estimation of serum calcium by Trinder's method.
This is a colorimetric estimation. It is a quantitative estimation, and the unknown sample we are going to use here is serum.
The reagents which are used for estimation of serum calcium by Trinder's method are calcium reagent, which contains naphthyl hydroxamic acid, EDTA solution, color reagent, which is composed of ferric nitrate, and calcium standard. The concentration of standard is 0.1 mg per ml. The principle of Trinder's method is that when serum is treated with calcium reagent, the naphthyl hydroxamic acid present in the reagent precipitates calcium as calcium naphthyl hydroxamate. This precipitate is then dissolved in EDTA and treated with ferric nitrate. A reddish brown colored complex is formed, the absorbance of which is measured colorimetrically at 470 nanometer. The intensity of the color is directly proportional to the concentration of calcium present in serum. A standard calcium carbonate is treated similarly and the color intensities are compared. The procedure to be followed is: take 3 centrifuge tubes, label tubes as blank, standard and unknown. In blank tube, add 0.2 ml of distilled water. In standard tube, add 0.2 ml of standard, and in unknown tube, add 0.2 ml of serum. After that, add 5 ml of calcium reagent in all 3 tubes. Mix the content of tubes by rotating between palms. Allow all 3 tubes to stand at room temperature for 30 minutes and then centrifuge for 10 minutes. Descend the supernatant carefully. Now add 1 ml of EDTA solution in each tube and shake to suspend the precipitate. Keep the tubes in boiling water bath for 10 minutes to dissolve the precipitate completely in EDTA solution. Let the tubes get cool and then add 3 ml of color reagent in each tube. Read the absorbance of all 3 solutions at 470 nanometer on colorimeter. Now record the observations in terms of optical density of blank, standard and test in given format. I have performed the test and ODs of same are mentioned in the table. The OD of unknown is 0.14. For standard it is 0.68 and for test it is 0.59. You can use these ODs to write calculation part of calcium estimation in your journal. Value of calcium in given unknown sample can be calculated using a given formula where you have to place the optical densities of unknown, blank and standard solution, also concentration of standard, volume of standard and volume of serum. Then you will get the value of calcium in given unknown sample in mg per dl unit. If you want to convert the unit from mg per dl to milliequigram per liter, you have to use the given formula where you have to divide the value of serum calcium by 2. Normal blood calcium level is 9 to 11 mg per dl, out of which 5 mg per dl of calcium is present in ionized form and is metabolically active. Another 1 mg per dl calcium is complex with phosphate, bicarbonate and citrate ions. Remaining amount of calcium is bound to proteins which are present in blood. As you have not actually performed calcium estimation here, but we can think that what should be the serum calcium level in given case. This is the case of rickets due to vitamin D deficiency. So there should be hypocalcemia. Here it is important to note that in vitamin D deficiency, blood calcium levels are marginally lower than normal range. Vitamin D deficiency alone never causes tetany. So we can say that serum calcium level in given case should be around 8.0 to 8.4 mg per dl. Total calcium present in human body is around 1 to 1.5 kg. 99% of body calcium is present in bone and remaining 1% is present in extracellular fluid. Calcium is major component of bone and teeth. Calcium is required for excitation and contraction of muscle fibers as it activates ATPase and increases action of actin and myosin. Calcium is also required for transmission of nerve impulses. It mediates secretion of various hormones such as insulin, parathyroid hormone, calcitonin and vasopressin from cells. Calcium acts as secondary messenger of various hormones such as glucagon. Calcium is known as factor 4 in blood coagulation cascade. It helps in thrombin formation. Calcium is also required for proper functioning of heart. It prolongs systole. Blood calcium level is mainly regulated by vitamin D, parathyroid hormone and calcitonin. Here are mentioned some disease conditions associated with hypo and hypercalcemia. Hypocalcemia mainly occurs in vitamin D deficiency, which can be due to less sunlight exposure, malabsorption, hepatic diseases or in renal diseases. Hypoparathyroidism also causes hypocalcemia as there is decreased activation of vitamin D. Medullary carcinoma of thyroid causes increase in serum calcitonin levels, which in turn causes hypocalcemia. Hypocalcemia is also seen in acute pancreatitis and hypoalbuminemia. Major symptoms associated with hypocalcemia are muscle cramps, neuromuscular irritability, tetany, seizures and bradycardia. Hypercalcemia is seen in hyperparathyroidism, multiple myeloma, Paget disease, metastatic carcinoma of bone and dehydration. Symptoms associated with hypercalcemia are polyuria, polydipsia, confusion, depression and renal stones. Thank you for watching this video.